Welcome to Building Barrels, where we explore the technology, planning, and development of adventure centers using man-made waves to spread the stoke of surfing. My name is Michael, and I'd like you to join me in learning everything we can about surf park development, and together we can build barrels in our hometowns. So why surfing? Why build a surf park? Well, before we get into that, I'd like to give you a little bit of a background on sports tourism. Now, what is sports tourism? Picture a family, maybe your family, with kids on a soccer team or basketball team, and maybe you travel around to play other teams in tournaments, exhibitions, or to go to sports camps. That's sports tourism. If you're a runner and you're traveling to your next marathon or you're going to go to your next mud run, that is sports tourism. Or maybe you're traveling to watch your favorite sports team compete in their next championship. That is sports tourism. Sports tourism is any time you travel to watch or participate in sports. This is a huge industry. It's actually been around since before the original Olympics held in ancient Greece, maybe even before that. Its share of the travel industry accounts for over $7.5 billion a year. And historically, these numbers are consistently going up. There are quite a few developers capitalizing on the industry by building bigger and better spaces to hold different events and competitions. The sports tourism industry is why major cities build coliseums. It's why Charlotte is bringing a Major League Soccer expansion team to the city in 2021. Attracting sports tourism is big business and brings a lot of money. Visitors and locals will go to the restaurants, they'll go shopping, or they'll go out and experience other local attractions in the area. There are often three different elements that make up the impact sports tourism can have on an area depending on the size of the venue and the size of the event. To explain these three elements, I want to take a look at the Augusta Masters golf tournament. For those of you not familiar with the Masters or haven't seen it on TV, the name is pretty self-explanatory. It's obviously a golf tournament held in Augusta, Georgia. It has the supposed masters of golf playing against each other. Now, the name doesn't tell you that it only happens once a year for a 3-day weekend with a few practice days. Regardless, at the Masters, you can easily see the three elements of sports tourism. First are the competitors. The best golfers from around the world travel to Augusta with plans to compete. Since only the top 100 golfers play in the Masters, this doesn't seem like a big deal. But consider the competitors in the New York Marathon. Over 50,000 runners travel to New York to compete in this marathon, and that is a lot of people. And it doesn't include those who are there just to watch. Now, considering the people who are there just to watch, let's go back to the Augusta Nationals. Again, the first factor in sports tourism is the competitors, and they bring in the fans, which is the second element of sports tourism. Fans come to watch, they come to volunteer, and they come for the festivities and the community. In 2019, USA Today estimated that over 250,000 people would visit Augusta just for the Masters tournament weekend. That's one weekend. And that is a ton of tourists. And it's actually, kind of hard to wrap your head around. I mean, how do they manage all those people in the traffic? Well, the Masters have been around for a very long time, so I'm guessing they have it figured out and I don't need to worry about it. But back to sports tourism. So you've got the competitors, you've got the fans. But once the Masters is over, what's left? Well, there's a golf club that's still there. So the last element of a sports tourism destination is the recreational users of that destination. And for the Augusta Masters, it's the golf club, which is called the Augusta National. Now, this may not happen at bigger venues like the football stadium near you, But the Augusta National Golf Club, the host of the Masters, gets recreational users both locally and from around the world. These users will also participate in other events or activities in the area. Visitors and locals will go to the restaurants, they'll go shopping, or they'll go out and experience other local attractions in the area. Those are the three major elements of sports tourism: the competitors, the fans, and the recreational users. Now, there is another element that's a little bit more specialized of sports tourism, which may not have as big of an impact, but it is important to note. And that is the Hall of Fame type destination, the different museums for sports enthusiasts. They also bring in tourists and locals alike who come in and make an impact. So we do need to note those. Now, why does all this matter to you and your surf park? Well, the Augusta Chronicle newspaper has estimated that the Augusta Masters Golf Tournament has an economic impact of $125 million. And that's just in one weekend. Now, I'm not suggesting that holding a big contest at your surf park would have the same result. But what I am suggesting is that the sports tourism industry is huge, and your surf park can take advantage of it. Your surf park can make a major impact on the local economy around your development. You may be thinking, but there aren't that many surfers out there. There aren't as many surfers as golfers. And there certainly aren't many surfers in my area of Kansas. Well, a surfer studying economics, I think it was somewhere in California, he actually did a thesis on this and estimated that there are approximately 3.3 million surfers in the U.S. alone. And they inject about $2.5 billion into coastal economies. And additionally, there has been about a 12 to 15% market growth. Now, those numbers are nothing to sneeze at. However, if you look a little deeper into it, there are actually over 29 million adventure sports enthusiasts who are into crossover sports. Now, what is a crossover sport? This actually may be a term that I made up because I did a recent internet search for it just for this post, and I couldn't find the definition that I use for it. But regardless, for these purposes, crossover sports are alternative activities where an athlete can easily take his skills and transition from his primary sport into a new one. For instance, crossover sports for surfing might be skateboarding, snowboarding, skiing, wakeboarding, etc. Fans and enthusiasts for these sports are very likely to also enjoy surfing. And this is a huge untapped market, and I'm not sure if everybody considers it. And if my math adds up, that makes a total of over 32 million potential surfers. Now remember, with man-made waves in surf pools, surfing is no longer relegated to the coast. Surfers can be anywhere. Thus, the true market size is quite hard to predict, but the sport is most certainly going to explode. You might be asking why? Why is surfing going to explode? Well, if you didn't know, surfing is going to explode because it is now going to be in the Olympics. Yep, that's right, surfing in the Olympics. It's supposed to be this summer in the Summer Olympics of 2020, but it got postponed until 2021. But regardless, surfing will debut for the first time when the Olympics come to Japan. Now, the sport of surfing is going to gain worldwide exposure during the Olympics. It's going to gain a lot of attention, and many would-be surfers are going to want to try it, and they won't try it just once. Surfing is a highly addictive yet healthy sport. Even the most novice of surfers will want to learn and improve and come back over and over again. The artificial waves in a surf pool allow surfers consistency not found in the ocean. It's much easier to learn to surf in a surf pool, and it offers an almost never-ending opportunity to refine your skills, but also to push yourself to a new level by learning new maneuvers and tricks. Both surf newbies and pros will come back again and again. So that's how a surf park can make the most of the sports tourism industry. Holding competitions, bringing in the best competitors and all their fans, and providing a consistent and incredible experience that enthusiasts will want to return to multiple times and bring their friends and either watch or have them surf along with them too. In other words, bringing a surf park to your area can have a huge impact and can be a big success. So that's sports tourism and why the surf industry is going to blow up and why you need a surf park in your hometown. If you want to keep up to date on surf park developments, trends, and ideas, or if you're an aspiring surf park developer, an investor, wave engineer, or whatever, or maybe you'd like to start a surf park mastermind group, please subscribe to my channel, give me a like, comment, share it, and together we can build barrels all over the world. That's it for today. See ya.